lowering federal flags at federal facilities. If you look at our policy, our half-masting processes are consistent with the other municipalities, both in York Region and across the GTHA, because the federal protocol, for instance, wouldn't allow for us to lower flags for current employees who have passed away. So local municipalities have developed their own half-masting practices.
So we don't contravene the federal, ours is more broader than the federal. That's the way to say it.
Municipalities are allowed to create their own protocols. The federal guidelines apply to federal facilities.
In all due respect, Councillor Isman, it's not throwing money away because he's somebody that we call on an ongoing basis for protocol on a number of issues. And he would be more than glad, to help out.
Well, I know.
Because you made a comment about throwing away money. We have somebody that we call, that doesn't live in Markham, that's part of the MDVA, that we call on a number of issues regarding the cenotaph and protocol. He would gladly do it. He's been telling us for years, we need a protocol. Thanks. He would probably, I'm not going to say what he would.
Okay. All right.
Call the question.
Well, I don't think it's been seconded and sorry. Okay. Sorry, Councillor Colucci, are you speaking to this motion? Okay. Councillor Colucci.
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that there are a few comments from our council members that we should be really focusing on other more important issues within the municipalities. Flag raising really is not a top priority to deal with, and I think that we have already spent a lot of time to deal with this, and I think that we should just really move on and status quo for now, and then down the road that if we really feel desperately that we really need to revisit again, like what Councillor Ray was saying, I think that we can deal with it at that time. I mean, we spent about 6.5 hours. We haven't even dealt with other items on our council meeting agenda yet. So I think that I'm not in favor of spending more time to discuss or debate the other element of flag raising or amending the other element of our current flag raising policy. I think that we should just status quo for now, and then everybody can kind of go back and sleep on it and really just kind of think about the issues, and then if we're really feeling there's a pressing need, then we can always bring it up. So I would not support dealing with it right now, as we still have a lot of items that we need to deal with on our agenda.
Councillor Ray, can I just make a commitment, because I think I know who you're talking about. I'd be glad to arrange a meeting with the individual, yourself, and whoever else wants to come. We can review some of the protocol related to the cenotaph. At the end of the day, I'm not sure is even necessarily our own staff that look after that, but if it is, we'll review that, and if anything needs to come back to council, we can always bring it back. So you have my commitment. I'm happy to arrange a meeting if we feel that we need to make some changes in relation to the cenotaph and perhaps some other protocols that we might not be following. And I don't know what those would be, but at least we can have a coffee and discuss them. Okay? Is that okay? Regional Councillor Jones?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to see us set up a committee from a criteria standpoint of maybe not flying certain countries' flags. There was a lot of emotion here, and what some countries are doing. I think that we shouldn't just fly every flag carte blanche. There should be some type of criteria.
Hey, I don't want to reopen this whole debate again, Regional Councillor Jones. Even some countries today whose record might be viewed by the rest of the world as being in violation of some fundamental rights, there would be members of the community from those countries, again, that would take pride, they wouldn't agree with what's going on, but again, they might take great pride in belonging to that cultural group and coming from that country. I think we've had this, to Councillor Colucci's point, let's all sleep on it. We can think about it some more. I think others have said we got a lot of pressing business to do. We do a lot more than flag raisings here at the City of Markham that speaks to our record, and many of you have alluded to that too. So why don't we leave it? And again, let's think about a process. But again, I think we start to reopen the whole issue again about some of the communities that are here who actually would agree that their place of origin isn't in the right place right now, but may want to celebrate that community's participation and engagement here. And that is sometimes I'll call the fine line, and making people feel welcome and at home, and not ashamed that they are from a particular country when a particular regime or head of state is not in sync with human rights records or anything else. So let's leave it for now, and we can come back and think about how we'd even do that, if need to be at all. But anyways, that's sort of it. Regional Councillor Heath.
Well, in effect, Mr. Mayor, we already have that. The clerk is authorized to raise the flag for Greece every year because we've done so in the past. But if, I can't think of it, North Korea comes along, we have to give authorization. Council does. It's a new one. It's not an old one. And so she has a process. It's in the protocol, and am I correct, Madam Clerk, how that works? A new one comes along, it comes here first.
You are correct.
Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Rain, we got to move on because we have a whole other agenda that we got to get.
So I'm a little confused because my understanding when we had the flag raising on the agenda before, that the decision was already made and it's just there for information purposes.
So in accordance with our policy, new requests that aren't on the 5-year list come to council for approval. Ones that have already been approved within the last 5 years are placed on the council agenda for information purposes only.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Can we vote on the